You're walking through a forest. Sunlight filters through the trees. The breeze rustles the leaves. Birds chirp. You take a deep breath. The air smells fresh, alive. It's not just peaceful out here. It's alive in ways we're only beginning to understand. Because this forest, it's not quiet. It's talking, just not in a way we can hear. Plants talk, not with mouths, not with sounds, but with chemicals, with electricity, with fungal networks beneath our feet. Today, I'm taking you into one of the most mind-blowing discoveries of modern biology, the secret communication system of plants. And once you see it, you'll never look at a tree the same way again. Let's go back to a study in 1983. Researchers at the University of Washington were studying willow trees that had been attacked by insects. Here's the weird part. Neighboring willows, untouched by insects, began producing bitter-tasting chemicals. A kind of self-defense mechanism. Why? They hadn't been touched, but they knew. It turned out that the trees under attack were releasing chemical compounds into the air. Warning signals. The other trees smelled danger and responded before the insects even reached them. And just like that, the old idea that plants don't communicate started to fall apart. Then came a discovery that changed everything. Deep beneath the forest floor lies an underground network, made not of roots alone, but of fungus. Microscopic threads called mycorrhizae connect plant roots to one another. This isn't some fringe theory. It's been observed in over 90% of plant species. What's more, these fungal threads act like a giant neural network. Trees use them to send sugars, water, and chemical messages across vast distances. Scientists now call it the Wood Wide Web. You've heard of social networks, but this one, it's alive. In old-growth forests, you'll often find one tree towering above the rest. Scientists call them mother trees. And they don't just stand tall, they care. Mother trees have been found sending nutrients to saplings, especially their own offspring. They can even adjust how much they give, depending on which plants need more. Here's something even crazier. When a mother tree is dying, it sometimes sends a final gift, transferring stored nutrients and even chemical signals to help the next generation survive. This isn't just resource sharing. It looks like a forest has memory, and perhaps something like intent. But the rabbit hole goes even deeper. Some plants send signals not just through chemicals, but through electricity. That's right. Plants use tiny electrical impulses similar to how neurons fire in animals. Take the Venus flytrap. When an insect touches its sensitive hairs, it sends an electrical spike to snap shut. That's not reflex. That's bioelectric communication. Even the humble Mimosa pudica, the plant that folds up when touched, has been shown to learn over time. In one experiment, it stopped reacting to harmless stimuli after repeated exposure. A form of memory. That's learning behavior from a plant. So now we have plants that can send messages and learn from experience. What are we dealing with here? Remember those willow trees? They were using the air to send warnings. Turns out that's just the tip of the leaf. When plants are attacked by pests, cut with blades, or even talked to, they emit airborne chemical compounds called VOCs, volatile organic compounds. Some attract predators to kill off their attackers. Others warn neighboring plants to start producing toxins or build tougher leaves. Here's a real-world example. When corn plants are eaten by caterpillars, they release a compound that attracts parasitic wasps, which lay eggs inside the caterpillars. That's not just survival, that's chemical warfare. Okay, so plants can talk. They can warn, learn, protect, and even cooperate. But here's the big question. Why should we care? Because understanding plant communication might help us solve some of the biggest challenges we face today. In agriculture, it could lead to pest-resistant crops, no pesticides needed, or healthier soil ecosystems built on cooperation, not chemicals. In conservation, we could restore damaged forests by recognizing social structures, keeping mother trees alive, preserving fungal networks. And in the fight against climate change, the Wood Wide Web is critical. Those fungal networks, they help lock carbon in the soil. Kill them, and we lose one of our most powerful natural carbon sinks. Now, before we go too far down the sci-fi rabbit hole, let's bust a myth. Plants don't have brains. They don't think like animals, no central nervous system. But maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. Maybe we don't need a brain to have intelligence. Instead, plants use a decentralized system, a distributed intelligence, across roots, stems, leaves, and fungal partners. It's not like our minds, but it might be something we haven't fully grasped yet. As Michael Pollan once said, plants are not just food, they're beings with behaviors, and maybe even something close to awareness. So, let's go back to that forest. The one you walked through at the start. It wasn't just a collection of trees. It was a living, breathing, communicating community. One that senses danger, feeds its young, remembers the past. Plants don't just live in silence. They're whispering through roots and chemicals, through air and electricity. And maybe, just maybe, they've been speaking this whole time. We just weren't listening. If that blew your mind, share this with someone who still thinks plants are boring. And subscribe for more stories about the science hiding in plain sight. Because the world is talking, and we're just starting to understand the language.